Hi, we just finished meeting for intonation practice on Wednesday, August 30th, and we started with some nice short ones. Work is too elaborate. I went with too because it's an adverb for the adjective elaborate, and you start with the first one. So, work is too elaborate. Over consideration. Consideration. I underlined the ray because it will get longer but not higher because you don't want too jumpy. Over consideration. Over consideration. Global heating. Global warming. Climate change mitigation. And mitigation is the same thing. I underlined gay to make it longer so you don't have too much jumping up. Climate change mitigation. Greenhouse gas emission of human activity. Oh, did I say greenhouse? Green gas emission of human activity. There's a lot of connections. Green gas emission of human activity. uh, Stick with it. With it will connect. Stick with it. Keep at it. Lots of connections. Keep at it. The T changes to a D. You got it. Got it. T changes to D. And on all of these, with it, hold that last T so that you don't hear the T at the end. With it. Just with it. Keep at it. Got it. Hold it there. A lotta, instead of a lot of, it will change to a lotta. A lot of mean people turned on me. Turned on me. Stop speeding and try steering. Stop speeding, Nan. This is a situation where I can change the ing with the tongue going high in the back for the ng combination to an een with the tongue in the front for in that will make it easier to connect to the a and. So now it's speeding, Nan. Steering, I can keep the ing in the back because I'm finished with that sentence and I put my tongue in that position. Steering. Stop speeding and try steering. Conflict and prosecution. Maybe I should underline Q because that's also the stressed one you want to make longer, not higher. Conflict and prosecution. There's two here. So the first one is the formal, it sounds the way that it looks. How are you doing? How are you doing? But the second one here is the most common one. How, drop the R, change you to ya, and change doing to do win. It should sound like win or won so that you keep your tongue in a lower position than ing. It's in. How you doing? How you doing? Although I did, when we were meeting, I did demonstrate how you can put the stress on every single one of those words and it will have a different meaning. So it totally depends on what do you mean? What do you want to ask about? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? But the most common would be the question word how and then the action do. So, how are you doing? You scared the heck out of me. You scared the heck out of. So now heck out of. T changes to D and you don't have to say the V on of. Heck out of. The body's thermoregulatory function. Thermoregulatory function. The body's thermoregulatory system. A tap could scare him as much as it did. And this one has an H deletion, which we don't see very often. So scare him, get rid of the H and connect the R to the I, and it says scare him. So it will sound like rim. A tap could scare him as much as it did. As much as it did. The T really disappears here. So I don't need two Ds. I don't want you to think it was as much as it did. Zid did. Don't add any extra sound. Maybe I'll make it as much as zid did. So you only see one D. Yeah. Do you have any plans for Labor Day weekend? Do ya? Do you have any? Do you have any plans? And instead of for, you can make it fur. Make it a little easier. Instead of for, you don't have to round your lips. For. Plans for Labor Day weekend. It's a yes, no question, so it'll go up. Okay, let me do it again without talking. Work is too elaborate. Over consideration, global heating, global warming, climate change mitigation, green gas emission of human activity. Stick with it. Keep at it. You got it. A lot of mean people turned on me. Stop speeding and try steering. Conflict and prosecution. How are you doing? Or how you doing? You scared the heck out of me. The body's thermoregulatory function. A tap could scare 'em as much as it did. Do you have any plans for Labor Day weekend? And that's a good place to end. So I will ask you if you have any plans. Have a good weekend. I hope to see you next Wednesday or Monday and Tuesday for pronunciation. Thanks.